Hello, everyone. My name is Natasha Wagner, and I'm a clinical psychotherapist and facilitator for the Blue Knot Foundation. I'm here with you today during the Blue Knot Foundation's Healing Festival because I'd love to show you a couple of grounding techniques that you can begin to use in your home or when you're on your own to really help support you in bringing down any kind of overwhelming energy that you might be feeling. You might use a grounding exercise when you feel a little bit triggered by something. You might use a grounding exercise when you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit stressed, or you're feeling as though something's going on that's leaving you a little bit out of your body. Now, grounding exercises are great to use not only when you're in a moment feeling stressed, but also during your regular everyday practice or as part of your routine. Now, what is a grounding exercise? Well, it's basically as it sounds. A grounding exercise is a way for us to be able to get a reconnection to our body. It's a way to get a felt sense of ourselves. And it's also a way to bring any excess energy down. So, if we're feeling in those states of anxiety or overwhelm, we're able to move into more states of peace and feelings of calm. And as grounding suggests, it is really that feeling of support. It's being able to reconnect to our feet, to reconnect to the ground beneath us, and to really feel a sense of support not only within our feet if we're standing or if we're sitting, but also that sense in our body to come back in to feel connected. So I'm going to invite you to do some simple exercises with me now. And as always, the exercises are an invitation. So there's never any requirement that you have to do these exercises. And I'm going to invite you to stay with some of the exercises if they feel good. You don't need to rush along or to follow my pace. You can stay with an exercise that feels really nice. If something doesn't feel good, that's okay. You also don't have to do that, and you're welcome to take a pause at any time. And just remember, what feels comforting for one person might not feel comforting for another person. So if these exercises don't feel okay for you today, it doesn't mean that you won't be able to try some other grounding exercises in the future. But if you want to give this a go with me right now, you can start by finding a nice, comfortable, seated position, ideally in a chair, sitting up, and you can place your feet on the floor. So I'm going to take my shoes off, and I'm going to invite you as well, if you'd like to take your shoes off, you can, or if in your position to do so. And ideally where you can reach the floor with your feet. And I'm going to invite you just to breathe normally, but to just think about maybe deepening your breath a little bit. And you can place your hands where they feel comfortable, either on the sides of the chair. Perhaps you want to have your hands on your lap, or you might want to have your hands just lightly on your legs. For some people, it can feel really comforting if you have a thumb and place one hand over the thumb and the other over the other hand, and just gently placing your hands down. So just coming into your breath and noticing your feet on the ground. I want you to just start to bring awareness to the sensations that you might be feeling in your feet. You might wiggle your toes. You might start to place a little bit of pressure as you push your feet into the ground. You might be able to see my legs kind of moving, playing around with the pressure, and noticing perhaps if you've got one foot that's slightly higher off the ground, maybe both feet aren't quite grounded on the ground, and what it's like to see if you can ground both of your feet into the floor and start to feel that pressure in your feet. You can play around with your position. So for some people, if you've got short legs, you might need to move a little more forward, but play around to what feels comfortable and just bring awareness into your feet. Maybe you notice that with your feet that you're putting a little bit more pressure on the sides of your feet. Maybe you notice that you're putting a little bit more pressure in the back of your feet and your toes are up. Let's see if we can bring an even amount of pressure into all areas of our feet so that all points of our feet are feeling nice and connected and comfortable as we feel them on the ground beneath us. Just start to notice what it's like to feel your feet on the ground, to notice the sensations that might be coming up. And no judgment, just being aware of the energy in your feet, in your calves, and in your upper legs as you do this. Just continuing to breathe normally. And if you can, just slightly deepening your breath. As you start to continue to notice that sensation in your feet or the pressure, you can also just be mindful of the support you have in your chair. Perhaps you can feel the weight of yourself sitting in the chair. Perhaps you can notice the feeling of support in the back of the chair. And just mindfully notice any sensations or movements or energy that come up. You might push your back a little bit more into the chair. You might push yourself and your bottom more into the chair. And just feel that sense of being supported against your back, your weight in the chair, and your feet in the ground. And I'm going to invite you in this position to take a couple more deep breaths, just feeling this sense of groundedness and connectedness to the earth and the support beneath you and behind you. And we're going to start to focus our breath in, and perhaps you like to work with a count with your breath. You can do that if you like, to a count of 4. So we're going to inhale for a count of 4 in a moment, and then we're also going to exhale to a count of 4 or 5. If you can make your exhale slightly longer, it's going to be great. But give it a go and see how this feels for you to inhale through the nose to a count of 4, and then exhale to a count of 4 or 5. Staying connected as you do so to that sensation in your feet, the sensation of the support behind you, and just allowing your breath to move freely in and out. And we'll just do that for a couple more times. So if the count helps, you can count along here. So breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, for some people, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth can be quite grounding. So if you'd like to try that, you can actually breathe in through your nose and then focus on blowing out the breath through your mouth. So it looks like this. Just keeping your exhale a little bit longer than your inhale if possible. So we can try that again. Breathing in, and then blowing out through the exhale through the mouth. One more time. And just check back in. Notice, are your feet still on the ground? Are you still feeling supported in your back? Can you feel the weight in your chair? You might also like to try a couple of big sighs. This is one of my favorite exercises because it means I don't have to concentrate too much on my breath. I just allow myself to have a big sigh. So breathing in, and on the count of three, we might do a big exhale or sigh together out through our mouths. So 1, 2, 3. Let's do that one more time. 1, 2, 3. And one more time. 1, 2, 3. So just notice in your body how the breathing makes you feel. For some people, that will feel really relaxing. For other people, it might not feel as comfortable. And again, everyone is different. So do what works for you. And I encourage you to stay with the breathing that feels really comfortable just for a moment. In the next part, I'm going to show you a little bit of subtle movement that you can bring in to also support you in feeling grounded and connected to the present moment. So again, just be mindful, feel your feet on the floor, feel your weight in the chair, feel your back supported, and just breathe normally. I'm going to get you just to turn your head ever so slightly and slowly to what feels comfortable. First to the right, and then slowly to the left. And just do that to where you feel comfortable, making sure not to strain your neck. And as you bring this movement into your neck, just notice what it's like turning from right to left. And notice where your eyes are going. You can allow your eye gaze to follow the movement from left all the way to right. And we're going to build on this and allow yourself to have a look around the room that you are. So you might look up, you might look to the side, turning your head, taking your eyes with their gaze, follow where your head is. You might look down and around. Just again, taking this at a nice, comfortable pace for you, allowing your head to move from side to side and around the room, and allowing your eyes to follow. When we do this, we're letting our gaze move around, which sends a signal to our nervous system that we're actually safe to look around. It's actually okay to check things out. We're able to follow our gaze. And it's a really soft and nurturing movement that can help us again connect into our body. So take your time and notice how that feels. If you like it, you can stay with that. Or if you'd like to move on to the next grounding exercise, I'm going to invite you in a moment to close your eyes. Now again, if closing your eyes doesn't feel comfortable and you prefer to keep them open, that's okay. You might want to just look down or lower your eye gaze to somewhere that feels comfortable for you to support you to help turn inwards. But if you're up for closing your eyes, you're welcome to do that now. I'm just going to invite you to take a couple of breaths just at your own pace to connect into your breathing, to become aware again of yourself in the chair, to become aware of your feet on the ground and the weight of yourself in the chair and the support that you have against your back. If it's helpful for you, you can imagine that there are some beautiful tree roots that are coming out of your feet and anchoring you into the earth below you, that really support you to feel solid, to feel stable, and to feel grounded. And these roots reach all the way into the core of the earth. Just notice what it's like to feel that connection to the earth, to feel solid and supported. And in a moment, I want you to bring to mind one of your favorite places to be, a place that you love, a place that feels really nurturing and supportive for you. Perhaps it is a place in nature. Perhaps it's a place that isn't in nature. Wherever it is, just imagine taking yourself there now and just allow yourself to notice what happens to your body when you go there. And if you can see this place, that's great. If you can't see it, that's okay. You can think it. The thoughts are enough. Just allow yourself to be fully in this beautiful place. And just notice what you see here. Perhaps in this place, you see beautiful water. Perhaps there are trees around you. Perhaps there is earth beneath you or sand. Or maybe there isn't any of those things, but it's a beautiful, nurturing space that you love. And allow yourself to notice what it sounds like in this place. What are the sounds that you can hear when you take yourself here? What are the sounds you can't hear here? And notice any sensations or feelings that happen in your body as you go here. Just continue to keep breathing and allowing yourself to be in this place. Maybe you notice that there is beautiful sunshine, or there's a temperature here. Maybe it's cool, or maybe there's a breeze. But just allow yourself to have any of the felt sensations, the body sensations, noticing the warmth or the coolness, or anything else that comes in this place. Breathe into this place and allow yourself to fully explore it and remember what it's like to be in this really safe and supported, nurturing place. Continue to look around and take in the sights that you see. Continue to focus on the things that you hear in this place. And allow yourself to get in touch with any textures or feelings that come up. Maybe there's a beautiful rug that you're walking on. Maybe there's sand. Maybe there's just a nice, light, cool breeze. Wherever you are in this place that you really love being in, just allow yourself to breathe into it and stay with it for a moment. Notice the sensations that come up in your body when you do this. Notice the feelings. Maybe you have a slight smile on your face. Maybe you're leaning in to that comfort and nurturing. Maybe you're feeling quite calm or a sense of peace. Just continue to focus on being in this place and allowing yourself to stay with those sensations. And a few more deep breaths. Just knowing that you can stay here as long as you like, and that this is a place that you can also come back to anytime. Savor it for a few more breaths. We'll continue to stay. When you're ready, ever so gently, with no rush at all, just begin to again bring awareness perhaps into your toes, perhaps to wiggle them and reconnect to the ground. perhaps pushing into the seat, feeling a little bit more pressure into the soles of your feet. And when you're ready, you can just slowly, perhaps even wiggle your fingers and start to open your eyes and bring yourself back into the room with no rush and no hurry. And just notice where you are, notice how you're feeling in your body and what sensations might be left over. Knowing that you can return to any of these exercises, but also that you can hold on to some of this feeling throughout the rest of your day or night. And when you're ready, you can get back into your day, check out any more of the resources on the Blue Knot Foundation's Healing Festival or also on the Blue Knot website. I hope you've enjoyed these simple grounding exercises and that they take you well into your day.